Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to go over stash ads that I picked up in October. Now, not quite as many as some of the other times, didn't quite go on the spending spree that I have on some of them, but that's kind of how it is. But we had some things going on here in October in Phoenix, Arizona area, which was, a lot of fun. And we had a swap meet here locally by Mike Chalua. He does a couple a year. Gets a bunch of vendors together and rents a room. This time a postal hall, and gets a bunch of the vendors in there, and it's a good time. Especially I get to visit a lot of my friends. So I had a list of a couple of kits that I would like to find. Didn't find really any of those, but that's kind of how it is. But my stash has grown, and my list of wants gets smaller and smaller. But that's kind of how it goes. But a good friend of mine, Bill, was there from Tucson, and so I got to visit with him, have a good old time. Kevin Missing Link actually came down, was in town at the same time, so he was vending and brought some items with him. So I was hanging out with him and hung out with Mike Schooner for a little while, and some other guys. Rex, I ran into Rex there. First time I ran into him in person. Talked to him multiple times online and video chats and stuff. So it was good to see you, Rex. And even though that was brief, but a lot of guys that I got to hang out and talk to. But which was most of the fun for me. I had my boy with me, so we got to hang out and play. Brought his Nintendo Switch and hung out with another friend of ours, their boy Ethan. So this is one of the ones that I wasn't looking for, but it's one that's like, what, I like this kit. I really enjoyed building all of these. Built, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of the modern Shelbys. I built one of this specific kit, but Bill had this one, so I decided that you know what, I'm going to pick this one up from him. I didn't need to have it, but it's a good kit. So at the price to get some of this stuff, I just like, hey, yeah, I'll take that kit. So I'm just going to go in my stash. Don't really have a whole lot of plans for it, but you never know. So this was one of the ones I picked up there. And also from Bill, I picked up this kit. Another one I wasn't planning on, but since, I have the 89 ZR1, I have that one, and then the 95 ZR1 from Monogram, I have those. And then Hobby Nut Models, Mark, he actually, found me the 92 version of this kit right there. So I didn't have the 91, and I was just curious how much different this particular kit is from that kit, even though I think in the real cars there's almost no difference. But there are a couple little differences in the kit that I thought was interesting. But I picked this one up, and so now I have, I think, all 4 versions that Monogram offered of the ZR1 for the C4s. I don't think there's another one, but that's just kind of fun to get my hands on and see some of the differences in the kit and the box art. I can go over that another time if you guys are interested in do a video of what's different, but this was mostly for my own personal curiosity. So yeah, I picked this kit up there. Also, I got to show you this. This is from Kevin at Missing Link, and if I can get it out of here. Actually, when I ran into Rex, he showed it to me first. He goes, "Oh man, you got to see this. Kevin at Missing Link offers this. This is a resin 3D printed air grabber setup that goes underneath the hood of the 71 Boss 351 and also the 71 Mach 1 Bond Edition, the Revell kits. So really cool. So I picked one of these up from him. I probably should have picked up 2 more. So I've got 2 built already, and then wouldn't mind adding these to those 2 builds. But I'm definitely going to use this on my 71 Mach 1 stock 429 version, and it fits really, really nice. So Kevin at Missing Link is offering these, so check him out on that as far as getting some more of those. But I'm going to have to bug him for another one of those. But, Rex showed me this, and then I went and saw Kevin, and I got one for myself. So pretty excited about that. Also, while I was there, one of my friends, He sells Slicks decals like crazy. Got books and books and books of them. And I remembered I was thinking about this particular Landy's Dodge, and I went on the site, but I did not find this on the site. But I was having some trouble searching for it. Didn't know how to navigate. And somebody pointed out it is on the site. There's a special tab for AFX. So this is on Slicks decals, even though in one of my videos I mentioned that it wasn't available, but it is available. So, but cool part, my friend had some of them, Tom, and so I bought this one from him, and I just was going through the books. It took a little bit of time to go through them all, but got this one, so now I'll probably do the Landy's Dodge Coronet. So grab that one, and while I was going through the stash, saw this one, the Black Arrow, another Mopar there. So another 65. So I thought that's cool. It's another variant to do that. So there it is. And I don't know how many race cars will do, but I decided I would pick this one up as well. And another one for the altered wheelbase cars, the Hustlin' Hemi. Another real pretty car. So picked that one up from him. And he's probably the one I spent the most money with. It's kind of funny. But he had it for $9, $9, and $11. And then this car, it's a Hemi Dart. Real pretty car. And I've seen these decals before. I've seen these built up. But decided I was going to pick this one up too. Whether or not I actually build the car is another question. But, you know, I just was implied to do this. Just, you know, just real pretty stripes and flames and everything. We're like, that's a real pretty car. So I picked all of these up there as well at that swap meet. But elsewhere, here are some kits I picked up on eBay. Some resin 3D printed kits. Now this is really cool. It's a big whole bag of stuff here. But this is from Diolex or Diolex. I'm really not sure how it's pronounced. But it's some resin 3D printed parts here. This one, you can make the Hellcat Red Eye or the regular Hellcat. So it gives you both hoods. And it's all 3D printed and all the front and rear parts. And the wide body flares. So, really cool. Now this was shipped in from Germany. So it took a little while to get. Found it on eBay. There's a couple of threads that pointed it out. I'm like, that's really cool. One of the modern challengers I wanted to do. But this is based on the AMT kit, not the Revell kit. I have Revell kits, but I don't have the AMT version that these fit. Which, you know, those are easily available, but that was one of the kits I was looking for, and it didn't seem like any of them were there. And here's the wheels, right here, with tires, and even the clear taillights, which to me is surprising how nice and clear these are. It's only missing the Dodge lettering on the back. I may be able to get that in photo etch or whatnot. We'll see. And he also offers, you know, a real similar kit, but this is the 2018 Demon. So here's the Demon wheels and tires. And also, most of the same parts, but there's the Demon hood right there. You know, the rest of the car is virtually the same as far as all the rest of the parts. But there's the Demon hood, which looks really good. So these, you know, a couple of modern curbsides. Although mine, one of the things that, you know, don't like about some of the 3D printed stuff is it's real brittle. This spoiler broke. The pieces in there, I can glue it. And then I had one of the rear fascias broke also, aside, but I can fix that as well. But yeah, I waited a little while for these, and you know, because it takes 3-4 weeks from Germany to get them. Not a big deal. I'll build them eventually, but I got to source the kits. So, pretty cool. Now, Iceman Collections actually sells some emblem kits that would work really great on this, and I'm gonna have to pick a couple of them up there, so I gotta check those out as well. Also, moving on, let's get that off to the side here. Another stop to my friend Greg Wan, local resin caster here, and I let him know that I needed, you know, I was thinking about doing a convertible 67 GTX or 67 Coronet RT, so he hooked me up with a bunch of the resin boosts to do that. He makes these, but so he hooked me up with plenty of them. Actually 6, but I tossed one in a box already. Kind of playing with it. But, he had these, so kind of while I was visiting him, I got these. And a couple other little projects, pieces here and there. But this was one of the ones I was looking forward to. And while I was visiting with him, I picked up this kit. I had one of these a long time ago. I don't think it was this specific version. But because this came out in 2005, I think I had an earlier box. But it was pretty much the same parts in the kit. But at the same time, this was a fun build. I remember just kind of having a good time, and that's what, some of these I reminisce about. But I picked this one up from him, but I also borrowed from Dan Doan some earlier versions of this kit that are his with all kinds of different parts. So I'll do like a video comparison of this and those kits because it's kind of some neat stuff. And so I picked this one up from Greg and gave me a smoking deal on it. But there was this one and one more. Another one he had that was on my list to get. And this one's been kind of hard to get here in the Phoenix area. It's kind of funny as to why. But, well, it's not really funny, but it's cool. Built this kit when it first came out, the Hot Rod Box version. And it's a great kit. Even the parts. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff in here. Orion Amps. Just an all-out cool car. And I kind of looked this over to see, if there's any damage in here. Because this was, Greg had this sealed. Never even opened it. So I broke the seal open to check it out. Decals are kind of questionable, but they may clean up and go on there. Because it's kind of funny. Some of that stuff works out that way. But, I did scan them. But so it's just like there's just kind of dirt or stuff on them. I'm not really sure what's going on with the decals, but there's all kinds of stuff on this sheet. So maybe looking for another set of decals when I get to building this or not. But I do plan to build this one, and it's a lot of fun. But the funny part was even Bernie, he had one of these kits at one of his things, and I think I mentioned it before that it was on my list to actually get it. So I went to his thing. This was a few months back. And I picked up a bunch of kits, but in his group shots was this one. And I asked him, like, hey, somebody already picked it up? He goes, oh, yeah, I sold it to a guy. I'm like, okay, that's, how the stuff is. Nobody holds anything. It's first come, first serve. But, yeah, he was telling me, he goes, oh, he showed up with this guy. He goes, somebody I'd never met before. He said his name was Matt, and he saw the kit, and he goes, I'm going to buy that. You got my car right there. And Bernie was like, what do you mean a kit of your car? He goes, oh, I'm Matt Hayes, and I built this car. And so he bought the kit, and I'm like, well, I can't get him, upset or anything. I'm like, I've run into him before. Matter of fact, many years ago, I'll post a picture right here. The car was at the Desert Scale Classic, and got to see the car in person. And I think I'd seen it before, but he had built the car. Then at one point in time, he'd sold the car, and he ended up buying it back. And so the car is here locally, gets out to shows. And so I've seen the car in person, and cool car. So that's another thing that makes it even more. So I've been, wanting to get one of my hands on one of these kits and build it because, me growing up being a teenager that loved Thunderbirds. My dad had Thunderbirds. So this car was just awesome. It was brand new at the time. I think I was in freshman year or 8th grade when the car I was seeing, and I could see it in the magazines. And then bought the model kit, painted it. Did a decent job with the model kit. Not perfect, but I did a decent job with the model kit. Don't remember what happened to it. Sold it. Something happened. But I think I sold it to somebody. But don't have it anymore. But I wanted to get another one. So here's that kit. So that pretty much does it for me for what I did for October. Well, that's going to do it for this one. So thank you guys for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.